Hi, my name is Chrissy Estaglis, and I'm going to talk to you about my group project on healthy conflict resolution. The meeting was held on November 29th, 3:30 to 5 p.m. in my office in the LUO Shepherd Department at Liberty University. The group had 7 members who were all in a spiritual leadership role on campus at Liberty that my department oversees. We sat in a circle in individual chairs and one couch that 3 people sat on. The purpose of this group session was to help build self-awareness of unhealthy conflict resolution styles, their origin, and provide skills to promote alternative healthy conflict resolution. Student leaders in this group identified their style and gained awareness of how their past negative experience with conflict affects them in their present life. This meeting started a little bit late because some of the girls couldn't arrive there on time. But at the beginning, I did an introduction, discussed the purpose of the group, and prayed, which took about 5 minutes. Following that, we did a sentence completion exercise for about 3 minutes, where girls completed a sentence about conflict. I handed out a piece of paper that they had to fill in to do individually. Following this exercise, the group broke into dyads and one triad because we had an odd number to discuss the results. This exercise was held for about 8 minutes. They seemed to warm up to each other and share their answers freely. The group came back together and shared their answers with the whole group. Most members shared, but some were hesitant and let their dyad partner answer for them. The exercise helped the group to warm up, creating a safe environment. Next, we did a check in comfort by rating how they felt about conflict, rating 1 to 10, 1 being very fearful to 10 very confident. Most members answered in the low 2 to 3 range and 1 in the 4 to 5 range. After this exercise, I read over the conflict resolution styles, which each member read along with their own handout. As I read, each kept note of which style that they related to the most. After this, each member then shared which style they identify with and why. During this time, the members started to identify the negative conflict styles and past issues that affect how they handle conflict now, during which each member shared about a specific issue that they struggle with, and I asked if they would be willing to do role-playing to speak out their feelings. After the last person shared, we transitioned into the working phase, into role-playing with the members who wanted to participate. I shared first because they were having a difficult time understanding what we were trying to accomplish. About 5 members participated in the role-playing. This time was very emotional for a few of them. 2 of the members got very emotional during the process and seemed to feel a burden lifted after they did their role-playing exercise. They did the role-playing with issues they had had with their friends, with their roommates, with other leadership that they were dealing with that they had been hurt by and were unable to express how they felt after these things happened to them. During the 2 role-playing sessions, we used the example of giving back the hurtful words in order to illustrate that they didn't have power over them anymore. I took that from the video exercises that we watched. Unfortunately, and one of the girls had to leave early towards the end of the group, so that changed a little bit of the dynamic. And we were running late because we started late. And 2 of the girls decided to stay after to do some role playing because there wasn't enough time in the group. At the end of this session, I checked in with them again to do the check-in rating from 1 to 10, 1 being very fearful, again 10 being very confident. Most members answered a higher number, saying they felt more confident about conflict resolution after the time that we had spent together. When leaving, I also provided additional handout with them for steps in scriptures to help them to continue to practice good communication and conflict resolution style in their life now and help them to continue to be aware of how their past had affected them. Overall, I felt the group went really well. The purpose of the group was very clear throughout the time we met, and each member was engaged and willing to participate. The exercise seemed to work well, and it was helpful for them to have handouts to help them to retain the information as we shared. During the role-playing, it was helpful that I started the role-playing exercise. Since I was vulnerable and self-disclosing, they could understand the power in the exercise that we were going to do. The main challenge was time. I forgot to discuss a specific amount of time with them at the beginning of the diet exercise. I didn't allow it to go long, but I wish I had said a specific time at the beginning to help them to be more focused. I think the group time should have been 2 hours instead of 90 minutes, and the ending time felt rushed, and I had a difficult time summarizing and doing the check-in scale with appropriate amount of time. In conclusion, overall, each member seemed very satisfied with their participation in the group. Some thought it was going to be an informative meeting because they heard by word of mouth. However, they were very pleased it was more interactive and felt that the role-playing time was very impactful for healing them. My highlight was the role-playing because I believe it helped the members of the group to receive healing from the past conflict in their lives and to gain awareness of how their past situations affect their present relationships. I believe that they learned from this group and it'll help them to break negative patterns in their life. Participating in the process as a group helped these members to not feel alone and they could learn from each other's experiences. I plan to incorporate more group interaction in groups that I do and using the exercises that I've learned because I see the impact of how great it is for people to work together to bring healing. So I've really enjoyed that a lot. And I believe that just after this exercise, I really feel that there is so much more value in going through these types of things with a group of people because you feel supported, you feel encouraged, you don't feel alone. So I really enjoy this exercise, and I think I might end up doing a follow-up with them just to check in to see how it's going. Thank you.